Hi folks, coming to you from outside today. Yoga certainly teaches us to be flexible, so that's what I'm trying to be today. Got some work going on inside the house, so not a great place to be doing a yoga class with people in and out. So I'm outside, you're going to hear dogs, you're going to hear people in pools, you're going to hear planes going overhead, you're going to hear my air conditioner going. So we'll try to put it all in the background as white noise, and we'll carry on with our class. Oh yes, and the cicadas, we hear them too. So enjoy your class. Hopefully the setup works today. We did try and make sure that you could see everything. So getting ready to start the class in Shavasana, laying down in a nice relaxing position. So I'm going to take it down onto my mat. I'm just seeing a comment in here. I think that's Diane, I think. Alrighty, so we're going to take it down and just relaxing, connecting the back of your body to your mat. Relaxing shoulders, relaxing through the neck, relax through the brow. That little furrow that develops there, just try to relax. Taking the tongue off the top of your mouth, traveling down the body, arms relaxing. Those fingers start to curl in just a little bit and palms are facing up. Feeling the chest and the abdomen starting to rise and fall with your breath. And as you become aware of your breathing, maybe it's actually slowing down a little bit. Down through the legs, also relaxing. And your toes start to roll out to the outer edges of your mat. Just check in through the glute area. Sometimes that can carry a little tension you're not aware of. So even just focusing on the cheeks down there and let them go. And again, let's think of the breathing in and out a little deeper, a little longer. And a deeper inhale through the nose, hold at the top. And now open the mouth and exhale, audible sigh. Doing that again. Inhaling, holding at the top. Opening the mouth, exhaling, audible sigh. Do 2 more of those at your pace. And back to normal breathing when you're ready, in and out through the nose. Keeping your eyes soft, starting to wiggle fingers and toes, and enjoying the laughter and the voices of little children as we start to come back to awareness. Rolling wrists and ankles. Maybe slowly taking your head side to side while we're still laying on our mat. Do that nice and slow though. Taking the hands above our head, fingers and toes pointing in opposite direction. Big long stretch and inhale. And as you exhale, bring those knees in and hug in. And just roll those hips side to side, little massage, lower back. Bringing those arms in between your knees into happy baby. And this is where I usually say feet pointing up to ceiling, but now I can say feet, bottom of your feet pointing up to the sky. Or an umbrella. Still rolling back and forth. I like to feel that pressure side to side. It's a sensation you don't get standing or sitting. Now coming to stillness
and just a little gentle pull towards the floor. Releasing those feet, hug in again, and right arm goes above your head, roll over to the right side, and let's come on up into table position. And we're going to drop the belly down into our cow position, chest open, inhale, and exhale into cat position, pull the belly up right into your spine. Back into cow position. Really point that tail up to the top of whatever room or outside area you're in. And back into cat, arching that back, pulling the belly up. Do a few more at the pace of your breath. Inhale, exhale. One more time for me. That spine should feel like it's starting to wake up and warm up. And then resting into your flat back table. I'm propped up on my toes for my feet, just for a little bit more stability. And my elbow creases are pointing forward, but not locked. And I'm going to look over my left shoulder towards my left hip. And as I do that, I feel the right side of my body opening up into a stretch. Back to center. And then going on to the other side. Back to center, do that again. So it's an inhale as we go into it, and an exhale as we land. Inhale back, and exhale to the other side. And back to center. Moving those hands just a little bit forward. Going into our first downward facing dog, or you can take it into puppy. So you're staying on your knees, and you're stretching through your arms and shoulders. You don't like the downward dog right away. Those legs are pedaling out, getting nice and warm, waking up those muscles. And then landing in stillness, pressing the tail up. And let's come up onto our toes, bend the knees, look forward, and walk your way up to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, down. Inhale all the way up, right into forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands down. Let's step back the left foot. And we're bending our right knee, the front knee, and we're coming down into a lunge. So you can stay propped up on your back foot, or you can rest the whole top of your foot onto the mat. Moving our left hand by our right foot, and coming up with our right hand on our right hip as we slowly look over the right shoulder. So a lunge with a twist. Bringing that back. Prop up on your toe, step forward, inhale, flat back. Exhale, down. Inhale all the way up. Forward fold. Flat back. Hands down, and now let's step back the right foot. Going right into our lunge, so the knee is down on the back leg. You can stay propped up on your toes, or the top of your foot can go flat on the mat. Moving my right hand by my left foot. And left hand on left hip, and turning and looking over my shoulder. Lunge twist. Maybe you're feeling a bit more of a stretch in the flexor of that back leg. Slowly come back to center. Prop up and come forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, down. Inhale all the way up. This time, let's bring hands to heart center and sit down into chair pose. So keeping that chest nice and open, directing your weight over your heels, squeezing inner thighs together. Options for arms to reach out front, to reach up a little higher, and breathe through the challenge. And maybe talk to yourself, is the challenge in my mind? Is it in my muscles? And let's bring the arms together. Exhale down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands down, step back, both feet. And we'll do our first Chaturanga Dandasana. So you're starting high or low plank. Lower down. Come into a cobra, so not too high yet on that back bend. Bring it back down, pass through table, or go right into downward facing dog. Up on those toes, bend the knees, look forward, and walk forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, exhale, inhale all the way up. Swan dive down, flat back. Hands down, step back again. Second flow. Changing intensity, maybe adding push-ups if it's in your practice. Lowering down. Maybe introducing upward facing dog. And pushing back into downward facing dog. Extending the left leg up behind you. Bringing the knee in and stepping the foot between your hands. Coming up into crescent lunge. So extending those arms high, or if it's in your practice, you can keep it at heart center. We're up onto the ball of our foot, back leg. And as we've warmed up the back a little bit, if you're comfortable with it, we can actually do a little bit of a back bend. Keep it safe. On your next inhale, pivoting that back foot and rotating into Warrior Two. So you've got to heel to arch alignment with the feet. Check in on the shoulders, making sure they're staying relaxed. And then can you bend a little deeper into that front knee without sending it past your toe? And press the thigh out towards the side of your mat. Flip your hand, reach back, exalt your warrior. Coming back into Warrior Two. Let's bring that front leg back. Don't lock the knee, keep it slightly bent. Now lean forward and then tip into triangle. Reaching up that top arm, feeling a stretch on the top side of your body. And coming back up. And now, we're going to go into our half moon pose, which the last time I did it, I didn't teach it properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to move our front leg in, so we can just walk that leg in so that our feet are a little closer together. And making use of a prop, if you want to use one or need to use one, adjusting heights. So we're in a position where we've moved our feet together. We're going to pivot our back foot, and we're going to reach forward, reach for a block, reach for the ground. And as you've captured your position with balance, we start to rotate and open up our body. So it's like we're pulling our top shoulder back, bringing the toes of that lifted foot in towards your nose. And slowly coming back to center, bring the foot down, hands down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale down, and we're just going to go into ragdoll for a minute here. So really bend those knees, pressing the upper part of your body onto your thighs. You can do a sway side to side or just hold perfectly still. Notice the back body is doing the expanding when you breathe. Releasing those elbows. Inhale. Exhale down. Let's step back and do a flow. So again, you're adding, subtracting, whatever you need to do to make it your practice. Back into downward facing dog. Really point that tail up. And now let's extend the right foot behind us. And bring the knee in and step the foot between your hands, top of your mat. Getting ready to come right up as an inhale into crescent lunge. So doing some adjustments with the feet. We're on the ball of the back foot. Taking an opportunity to do a slight lean back if it's in your practice. And coming back straight up and then pivoting into our warrior two. So we've moved our back foot, so we've now got heel to arch alignment. Can you bend into your front knee a little bit more? Press out the thigh. Relax your shoulders. Flipping your front palm. Exalting your warrior. Listening to life happening around us. Sound of happy children. Coming back to warrior two. And now bringing the leg back, not quite straight. Lean forward as though you're reaching for something, and then start to tip into triangle pose as we pull our top shoulder back. And slowly coming back up. Let's pivot our front foot, and then we'll just do a little walk so that our feet are a little closer together. And if you need to make an adjustment with your block for support, knowing we're going to the top corner with our hand, and we're ready to start leaning, reaching for the floor, the block, finding your place for balance. Your top leg, the toe is pointing towards your nose, your top shoulder, pulling back, trying not to rotate forward. And slowly let's bring our front body towards the mat. Hands and feet come down to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, down. Inhale all the way up. Forward fold. Flat back. Hands down, stepping back, and do your flow. Remember, child's pose is there if you need it. And meeting in downward facing dog. Let's leave those feet where they are and walk the hands back to your feet at the bottom of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, down. Inhale all the way up. Hands to heart center. And let's take one step forward with, actually I'm going to go forward with my right foot so you can see the first side of my body facing the camera. Hands are going to my hips. My left foot is back. My left palm faces up. And I start to rotate my arm back. And I'm going to reach for my back foot. So if you have a chair for balance, you can use that. If you don't like the balance work, then we can stand with our toe just touching behind us, and every once in a while, we can just lift it up. If you've been able to grab the inside or arch part of your foot,
We raise our right hand and stand in dancer's pose. Your standing leg has a soft knee, and if it's in your practice, we can reach forward and try to press the foot against the hand behind us. Slowly come back up. Bring those hands down. Gently bring that foot down. Don't let it go quickly. Let's inhale. Hands back to heart center. And this time, let's step the right foot back. We're going to do the same thing. So most of our weight now, we bring it forward onto our left foot. Hands can go to my hips. And then I put palm up on my right hand. I open up through the right shoulder. I lift up my foot and grab the inside or arch side of my foot. Trying to keep the eyes close together. And remembering we can keep the foot on the ground and just lift it every once in a while if that's where we want to stay with a balance pose. Staying here with your dancers or going into a forward lean and extending the foot behind us. Breathing through the challenge. Slowly come on, back up. Slowly release that foot. Deep breath in. Swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands down. This will be your last flow. Push-ups, no push-ups. And meeting in our last downward facing dog. Let's bring those knees down as wide as our mat. Set the hips back and just rest for a few minutes in child's pose. So this is a place to make use of a block again if you'd like. You can rest your forehead at whatever height is comfortable, or use your hands or your fists propped up. Back body is expanding with each breath. And slowly coming forward. And we're going to take it in onto a seated position. Now I usually face the other way, but I'm going to stay facing the camera. So my legs are extended in front of me. Maybe just do a little rock and adjustment there, making sure you're on your sit bones. Let's have those toes come back towards our nose. Sit up nice and tall. And as we exhale, hinge from the hip. Walk those fingers down your mat, down your legs. Maybe you're reaching your calves, maybe you're reaching your feet or your toes. Trying to keep the chest up. Slowly bring it back, inhale. Exhale, let's do that again. Sometimes on the second or third time we can find that we get a little bit more length in our stretch. And slowly bring it back. We're going to bring our feet into cobbler position. So, soles of our feet meeting. Maybe they're out front. Maybe they can come in a little closer. But we want to make sure that we're not caving through the body, so nice and tall. Elbows can be on your thighs. Nice open airways, straight back. And feeling the stretch in the inner thighs. And let's bring that in. Extending the right foot, bringing the left foot, or leaving it where it is with the foot on the ground, or crossing over.
Left hand goes behind, right hand up, inhale. And as you exhale, you turn and look over that shoulder. You can bring your elbow to the outside of your thigh for a little extra rotation. We're pretty warm, so maybe you've got a little bit more stretch in you at the end of a class. I'm just going to unwind that a little bit, come back to center, shake it out, and let's go on the other side. So starting with right knee in, foot down, maybe you're crossing, right hand behind us, reaching up, inhale, and as we exhale, we turn and look over our right shoulder. Our left elbow can be all the way to the outside of our right thigh, and pressing through that rotation. Slowly coming back, a little unwind, and back to center. Getting ready to take it all the way down. So slowly bring the back down, one vertebrae at a time, bringing those knees in, and then exhale. We're going to have both feet on the ground, trying to keep those thighs pressing in towards each other. As we inhale, we slowly lift up those hips and press into bridge. So not only do we have inner thighs squeezing, but now also glutes. Slowly lower that down. Feet a little wider than your hips for just a few windshield wipers. Back into position for a second bridge. So again, squeezing inner thighs, squeezing glutes. As you inhale, you start to lift. If you can go higher on this one, you might even want to try to wiggle those shoulder blades in towards the center of your body. And if you are doing that extra press, focus on the press from your heels, not from your shoulders. And slowly, let's bring that down, one vertebrae at a time through the back. Feet go wide. Windshield wipers. And then we want to bring those knees in because we want to bend our spine in the opposite direction. So nice little ball. Slowly bring the head and neck down, and we're going to extend our legs in a well-earned Shavasana. So relaxing here, palms facing up again. Another chance to do that body scan. Almost like the world knows that we're in our final rest position. A few minutes of peace and quiet. Inside your mind, just think about in and out. Stay right here, right now. Welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like. Those of us who need to carry on, starting to wake the body up, come back to where you are, your room, your space. A little bit of movement, fingers and toes. And let's do one last hug in with the knees. And don't quite let it go. Roll over to one side or the other. And let's come on up into seated position on your mat. And I'm just going to turn and face the camera, trying to keep your gaze soft where your eyes are still closed. Bringing hands to heart center. And today I thought I'd reflect on a little passage of time. So it is August 13th. And to the calendar date of the 13th, it's 5 months since I have actually seen many of you in person, because my last day in the office was March 13th. So while that seems like ages ago, sometimes it feels like it has gone quickly. I think it just all depends on my mindset. And then that teaches me that almost anything I go through depends on my mindset. So, as we wrap up today, my thanks go to you for joining me in my practice, keeping me practicing on a regular basis, and hopefully keeping all of us healthy and in a positive mindset. Namaste. Have a wonderful day, everybody.